Hello, everyone. All right, so I've been at the family house for the last few days through Christmas. Came here for Christmas, and then my wife went to New York, so I'm with the boys this week. So I'm a little out of sorts. I'm not really in my regular routine, so I've worked hard to kind of get that back. I was really good this morning. Last couple of mornings, actually, got my meditation time back up again to over 30 minutes. Make sure I'm doing my reading, make sure I'm taking my time. The one thing I'm not doing is writing right now. So that was a problem. I left my computer at work yesterday. I have it today. I will make sure that I write tomorrow morning and I'll try to make up for it a little bit. A couple of pages is a lot for me to write. So I will try to get at least that much done and maybe push past that a little bit. I've been great about working out. Just got back from the gym. I feel great. My weight is kind of staying right around, it was a low at 203. I'm basically between 203 and 206, depending on the time of day I weigh myself and what day it is and all that stuff. But I feel like I'm doing a good job, relatively good job eating. I definitely eat more when I'm here, again, out of sorts, out of my regular routine, and I'm not quite as sharp as I'd like to be. So I've just had a lot of talks with my head, right, about convincing myself that yes, I have the discipline to not eat when I'm full. I have the discipline to not have a giant freaking plate of whatever it is that I'm having and stop at a reasonable amount. That if I can't summon that discipline, that's pretty sad if I can't really, find a way to shut that down a little bit. So I've been working hard on that, and it seems to be, I'm staying close to where I need to be. I think once I get back to my surroundings, I'll probably drop a few more pounds, which will feel good. But I feel far less, what would I say, self-conscious with my shirt off. Again, I'm not showing myself to anybody, so it's just me. But I've never been a big fan of walking past the mirror and seeing me and my gut hanging out and not looking good. So I don't like that. I will, you know what? This is kind of a big step for me. I'm not, like I said, I don't run around with my shirt off and ask everybody to look at me, but I will go ahead and take it off now. Just kind of get the idea that I'm getting there, right? I mean, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. Um, much more, much more normal looking and reasonable looking than I've had in the past. And this feels a lot better. You can't really see from the angle, but I don't have a giant gut hanging out anymore. I definitely still have some gut. Don't get me wrong. There's some side stuff there that I have to keep worrying about, but this is far better than it was. Far better than it was. So I feel those things make me feel good. I am trying to get back to a place um, where doing esteemable things gives me self-esteem, right? Like I know I'm working hard physically. I know I'm working hard at work. I had a really good afternoon at work. Did okay in the morning, but the afternoon I really pounded on prospecting, reaching out to people, and it felt good again. I kind of let that slip for a couple of days, and that doesn't feel good. I find myself at work sometimes. I do sales, right? I find myself at work and thinking to myself like I'm very disconnected from my referral sources. I'm very disconnected from the next piece of business coming in. Like, where the hell is it going to come from? And when I just do my prospecting, as simple as it is on a daily basis, it really makes me feel like I am doing the right things. I believe I'm convinced because I've seen it happen in my life. It's been proven time and time again. If if I take the actions of working hard, being attentive to my job, paying attention to it, being present in the moment during the workday, when I do those things and I put myself in a certain environment, if you want to call it luck, call it luck. To me, they are God moments, right? Where God steps in and takes care of me, and things come my way, business comes my way, money comes my way that I was not expecting to have. Um, and it happens when I'm not running from my life and my responsibilities, when I'm just standing up to them. And it has happened my entire life. This crazy thing that I've gone through has taken me far away from that connection to the spirit of the universe, to God, whatever you want to call it, whatever that source of power is, that however we want to define that. It's very real to me, and when I'm connected to it, I feel like certain things go my way, and even if it's just enough to keep me going one more day, keep the lights on one more day, it it matters, right? So here's a perfect scenario. I'm really low on cash. I'm really low on funds. I've got groceries handled. Gas is an issue, right? I mean, I'm spending a lot of money on gas driving back and forth. I've got 90 miles between, here and my place, and I go back and forth a lot. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I had posted a handful of baseball bats for sale that my kids have outgrown. And in the last 2 days, two of them have been sold. They're the cheapest ones, but you know what? That money comes in and it's gas money. And it's exactly what I needed, exactly when I needed it. And I mean, is it coincidence? Sure. That's, a million people are going to say it's a coincidence. To me, that was a God moment. That was a God moment that restores my faith, that builds my faith in God, and that restores. It just wakes me up again to realizing that I live in God's world, and the more that I acknowledge that, the better my life is. And so I'm going to keep doing that. Again, it's moments like this that if I try to lecture my kids, they just shut me out, right? They're teenagers. They don't want to hear it. They shut me out. I am hoping that by putting these videos up on a YouTube channel, that someday they come across them, maybe exactly when they need them for a certain amount of inspiration. I don't know, maybe someday I'm gone and they have this to look back on. I wish I had that with my parents, right? Like they were just gone one day, and there's nothing to reach back to except for memories. And I wish that I would have had a better, wish that I could have seen inside of them, inside their heads a little bit more, inside their hearts a little bit more. I was 24, 25 years old when they passed, and I just didn't have the maturity to connect with them on that level. So it's a big regret. It's a big miss. But it is what it is. Anyway, I hope that doing what I'm doing now gives something to my kids someday, when they're looking forward, and maybe for them it happens at just the right time, and this becomes a tool that gets used in one of those God moments. So that was a long spiel from the soapbox, and I'm sorry. I'm just I'm feeling excuse me. I am feeling mostly better about my life and about things, and I feel like maybe. I hate even bringing this up because this lets in a lot of speculation, and I'm not, I'm a bad mind reader. But if I had to put money down, I would put money on my wife is probably, this relationship is dead to her. And that's sort of been my biggest fear in the separation, is that she would get to that point. And it's I think that fear in trying to control her to not to try to prevent that from happening, right? I think that was that had a lot to do with the ridiculous how do I phrase this? Ridiculous outpouring of codependent attempts at control, right? Like everything in my power was trying to control her so that she wouldn't decide that I wasn't worth being with and that this marriage wasn't worth trying for. I think she might be there, and when she does these things like go on a trip by herself, is some of it so that she just gets some peace. And I hope that for her. I want her to have peace. I really do. I want things to be light for her. But my worry is that she's trying on being single, and I don't mean she's like dating. That's not, I don't, maybe she is. And if she is, like, what am I going to do to stop it, right? I don't think that's what's happening. I just think she's trying to, try on the feeling of what it's like without me. And I don't know. If that's the direction we go, that's the direction we go. I know that I would prefer that we both just did one last really hard try, right? Like just 100% committed to, every bit of effort we can muster, um, to let's see if we could pull this out and maybe make a miracle out of this. I, I think a miracle is possible. I really do. Might not happen. So, if it doesn't, I'm more okay with that today than I was, 2 days ago, or certainly 2 weeks ago. Um, I don't want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with me. So that much I'm convinced of. And if this is the way that we continue to progress, then that's most likely where we're going to end up. And you know what? That's okay. We'll both go on. We both love our kids dearly and with all of our hearts. Um, hopefully, I'm pretty sure they'll be okay. They're good kids. They're well loved, and we'll continue to do that. So that was a lot for one video. By far the longest video I think I've made. But just wanted to catch up. I will talk to you guys soon.